Hey, welcome to One Side of the Coin. I'm Steveo the Gamer. We're here at Heads or Tails Gaming, and tonight I have a special guest, once again, my best buddy here, Will Kemp, for Genesis. And tonight we're going to be doing some meta play, a couple of decks that we more or less compete with. Yeah. And Mac Attack is behind the laptop tonight. She's going to be answering any questions, or so if you want to join in on the chat, be sure to send a message, any questions and whatnot. She'll be there to take care of those for us. So tonight I am playing my favorite champion of all time, Idris, of course, the Alpha Edition right here that I always use. And Will is playing
Erica tonight.
Erica. So we're going to run through a best 2 out of 3 games, and then probably have a bit of a discussion about our decks a little bit. Maybe some changes that we can make, etc. Sure. Right? And take a look at the meta and maybe talk about some of the meta decks that are out there. So without further ado, we're going to go right straight into some gameplay. Hope you enjoy. And as I said, any questions, just throw them out on the chat. And Mac Attack will be sure to try and answer them the best way she can. You ready to go?
Yep, ready to
go. All right, let's do it.
Cut. All right. I rolled a 7.
That's a 9.
Your choice.
I'll lead.
Okay.
Move 1. Spend 10. Lulu?
A Lulu. Yeah, you can have it.
Okay. Spend 10. Lulu?
You can have it.
Fireball you for 2.
So it begins.
Here we go.
Alright, step to the... Shall step forward.
So you say you're not playing chicken already, are you?
Yeah, no. It's welcome to competitive Genesis. Play chicken. I will pay 14.
Scorpion.
Play a giant scorpion. And I will end my turn exerting her with a Bayou up front.
Yeah. No response to end drawing.
Next round.
Yep.
Draw.
Gosh. That was horrible. Attack.
3. In response, I will cast the Anja Tiger.
Sure.
It will respond and attack Lulu.
Gotcha. Go.
Back to you.
Mm-hmm. Summon?
Yep.
Summon?
Sure.
Fireball Erica for 2.
Yep.
Exert. Go ahead.
Swift. Punch it for 1.
Yep. Oh, you want that setup, don't you? All right. Still can't reach. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, next round.
Oh my God! Come on. 2 or 3. Sorry,
3.
3. Taken.
Activate Erica.
Yeah.
Landslide.
Maybe I should have went the other way. Yeah, you got it.
Giant Scorpion.
Sure.
Alright, you are exerted, so the rest of the turn is me. Giant Scorpion will kill Lulu.
Yep.
End of Giant Scorpion's turn, I will Breath of Jalara. I will gain 2.
Oh. I would have played that different.
Three.
Yep. 19.
2.
Yep. 17. Oh, wait, hang on. Actually, yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
17.
Next round.
Yep. Come on. So you got 3, 6,
Right now, I have 8
8,
coming from the board. And you are at what health?
17.
17.
Yeah. Can't get close enough. I'm just gonna drop that out. Yeah, that's where opening hand is very, very important. Yeah, I'll fireball Erica for 2.
I'm at 11.
Yep.
Alright. 3.
Decoy.
Placement.
Doesn't matter where, I'm still gonna take all that damage.
Okay. That's fine. No response. Dying. 2.
Malicious.
Three.
That'll take 14.
3.
11. Got it.
This turn. Stay where I am.
Sure.
And I will exert with a Bayou.
Okay.
Jump.
That's 1 less damage if I do that. Yeah, let's do it. You got it anyway, so. Move. Meteorite for 30.
What's your health at?
11.
That's after the meteorite or before?
After. Or sorry, before.
Before the meteorite?
So 11 would take me down to it's 5 damage.
6.
Takes me down to 6. You got
Yeah.
3
So
and 5,
Bayou-
so I'll be down to 1.
Bayou will respond before the meteorite goes off.
Yep.
It's 2. And Giant Scorpion will attack before the...
For the 3?
Yeah.
Actually, before the Baihu goes. Hang on, let me take that back.
Okay, so Bayou's on the stack. That's still there.
Yeah, malicious.
Okay, in response to malicious, the Scorpion will attack them.
Yep. Just +1. Hang on a sec.
Yep. So you were at 11.
So I just got a -1. It was at 11. Melissa just moved them, so I'm taking 3. So I'm down to 8.
Okay. So that's exerted. Anything? I have nothing else. Okay. So meteorite resolves. So dead.
Still got it.
We got 1, and we're at 7, 2.
2.
All right.
Whoa.
Anything else?
Actually, I might be able to get through. Alternate for 2 fireball.
Yep. No response.
For 3.
3.
5. Might be able to get through this. Holy Jesus.
Wind slash.
You son of a bitch. Yep. Pardon my French people. 3.
At end phase. Beckon onto Tiger.
Yep. And that's game.
Right. Game 2.
Game 2. I'll go first.
Cut if you like.
You're good.
Okay. You are good as well.
Alrighty then.
Your choice. You said.
I'll lead.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. 1 for draw.
All right.
Let's do it.
Round 2.
Yeah, I gotta reset.
Oh yeah, that's good call.
There we go. There we go. Here we go. Forward.
Mhm.
Yeah, forward. Summon.
Yeah. No response.
Summon.
Ouch. No response.
Summon.
No response.
Breath.
Okay.
It's gonna come up. Double landslide. Gain 2.
You gain 2 as well. Ouch.
Yep. And fireball you for 2.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm going to step up.
Oh yeah, that's right. You need the lead.
Purifying wave.
Ah, you.
No response.
Yeah. That is painful.
I'm going to pay 14. Giant Scorpion. 14. Giant Scorpion.
Yep. I need my meteorite next.
You gain 2 health, so I'm going to do a Bayou.
Sure.
Alright, next round?
Yep.
Did you pull the meteorite?
I did not.
Alright, here you
Yeah,
go.
no, very painful. See? This goes to show you I should have reserved slightly. Forgot about the purify. Yeah, I'm gonna move forward. Left hook the bow.
Sure. Is that 1?
And then hit it for 1.
It'll respond back for 2.
Yep. Alright, do your thing.
Giant Scorpion for 3.
We'll decoy out of that.
Okay, placement.
Doesn't matter, I'm gonna take the other hit anyway. Let's go here.
Okay. Response to the decoy.
Yep.
Wind slash.
Oh, on the decoy or me?
On the decoy.
Yep.
Before it triggers.
Yep. I'll take the 3 then. 22.
And 3.
Yep. 19. That's right. Oh, sorry, Erica. Yep.
Okay, for a cub.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll pay for a Bayou. Alright, next round.
Sure. Yeah, I'll hit the cup one.
No response.
All right, so we got 3, 6, 8,
What's your health at?
19.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
We got 8 damage there.
Alright. Bahu will attack for 2.
Yep. 17.
Scorpion will attack for 3. No
14.
response.
Nope. Nothing. I got nothing, dude.
Giant Scorpion will attack for... Actually, will move and attack for 3.
Yep, 11.
Turn and summon Bahu.
Yep.
Puts me at 10 damage.
Easily. Yep.
What's your health at?
11.
11. Okay.
Oh, gotta do something. 10, 11, 12. Summon.
Okay. No response.
Fireball Erica for 2. Go for it.
Alright, Bahu attacks for 2.
Yep. It's 9.
Bahu attacks for 2.
7.
Scorpion.
3. Scorpion. GG.
Scorpion.
I could have got out of one of them, but I just let it go. That was too painful. Way too painful. So yeah, this was a concept that I had created before. So basically, the
Yeah, so you get your
it's
Death
running
Companions
so many
down.
Death's
Those are
Companions,
so
right?
cheap.
Yeah, it's for 12 aura summon that does 5 ranged attack, plus it has flight and aerial. I just didn't pull them for some reason. It wasn't coming out. So Lulu's in the deck as a distraction, more or less. So basically, when Lulu hits the field, the opponent has a choice of spending 3 health, whether he's using its summons or himself, to get it off the board right away. So I know Will allowed them to stay on the field because of Erica's health is pretty low,
Right.
being only at what's her starting? 18?
I'm only starting at 18.
18, yeah. So
But I also get to see my hand too, right? So
Yeah.
in that situation, I had a landslide and a purifying wave, and so depending on what Steveo did that first game, so he dropped the 2 Lulus. I was like, that's fine, because I could take care of the landslide. And then he didn't drop any Death's Companions, so that told me that they're probably
buried.
either buried,
Yeah.
that he didn't have any, or that he had a meteorite in case I overcommitted. So I tried to position myself in that first game where my summons, because I had the Breath of Jalara in hand, so I positioned my summons in a place where the breath would be able to be used if the meteorite came down. The second round, the meteorite didn't come down, so I knew I could advance and attack and push pressure on.
Now I know I've stressed the importance of this card being a staple because it can be used by any champion.
Yeah.
Breath of Jalara is such an amazing card. So basically, it's giving all the summons within its awareness 2 health plus yourself as well. Absolutely amazing card. So to bring the Death's Companions up, because they only have the 3 health, unlike say the Angel, which is sitting at what 6 health,
Yeah.
right? So it gives these a better standing chance. However, I think
This
my
is
mistake.
half the cost. It's
Yeah, half the cost of an angel, right? So we were calling these the mini angels for the most part, for Thymos Chaos deck or anything that's using Chaos, to throw these in to be very competitive against the angel. However, in the long run, to get it to where an angel is, it's costing you pretty close to the same thing, right? And it's still a little
And
shy.
it's 2 cards instead of 1 card.
Instead of 1 card, exactly. So for evasion, I had a few of the ever popular Decoy Rabbit, right? So I mean, being targeted. I threw the Malicious in, which I never used to run these in this deck before. I'm very vague as to what I actually had fully this
before,
deck. So because I had torn it apart quite some time ago because I wasn't playing it anymore. But Malicious is a really good card. So basically, it allows you to move a summon that's in its awareness. So whether it's attacking you or if you had one of your summons within its awareness, to move the summon out of the attack. So it's really, really good. However, we didn't see much of these. I did throw for my 3-chi balance, stuff like what you used. Inferno Ghoul, left hooks, in case the opposing champion got a little too close. And that was basically it, other than, of course, the Meteorite for a board wipe.
So the fire change is actually a card that gets overlooked a lot.
It does get overlooked a lot. For as cheap as it is, right?
Yeah, for a 3-chi card, 10 aura. You can do a lot for 10 aura, but the one thing I always hesitate on with fire change is that fire change is fantastic when your deck is working optimally.
Yes.
If your deck is not working optimally, this almost becomes a dead card.
And I think this is what kind of forced me to go first, was thinking that I could get up close enough, but then dropping those scorpions, it's a little hard, right, to determine where the play is. As far as your deck, absolutely amazing what you built here.
So there's different builds for Erica. Because Erica can run Brooks, Erica can run Bolt Shots. Unfortunately for me, those cards are being used in other decks. So this is sort of utilizing... So the Ansha Tiger takes place with the Bolt Shot. It's for the energy cost. It's the Swift Beckon. It's the Blitz Trigger. It comes down if I need to do something in response, if I need to do something fast. I used it there, not at the best situation, but I knew I could apply pressure by killing your Lulu without you realizing that was coming down. Gave me all the board control.
Yeah.
I basically had 3 summons on the board at that point, and it still gets to act. So I'm running those at my 7-chi spot.
How many of these are in here?
6.
6 of them, yeah.
5 or 6. Yeah.
So I think the quick beckon, such as like the Chrono, even though you don't switch spots with this, though, it's just it's absolutely crazy. So
and when I'm looking at my energy cards, my only energy cards are the 3 that we have here on the board. It's leaps and jumps.
Which I'm surprised I didn't see you use this, because
I didn't have a reason to. So I have leaps, jumps, and backflips. Only I'm running 3 and 3 of those, and then I have this energy card and these. That's all the energy in the deck I have, because I don't want to run too much more. And then I have 5 Purifying Waves and I think 6 Giant Scorpions. Yeah,
which as we've seen in the play, like this, you benefited from this huge, right?
Yeah.
And I made that mistake. I threw down all those Death Companions right off the get-go, and I didn't stop myself.
I have gone up to. I started with 3 in the deck, but 3's not enough, and I found with 5, I'm seeing it almost every hand. Opening hand, I almost see one every time with 5. Would like to get up to 6, but at 6, 8 cheese, I would have to lose a lot of my really good summons would probably have to be adjusted. So I'm sitting at 5 right now, and the deck is working really well.
Nice.
I do have the breaths for when it's needed, and then, as you saw, the landslides.
Yeah. So the landslide deck that I play, it's mostly a lot of leaps.
Right.
I don't have too many of high summons like this.
Yeah.
So I'm running mostly, I think, 10 or 12 landslides. So basically, it's just leap up. The deck is more or less 100%. You got to go first on it to get the leap, the landslide. You just jump up. You prevent your opponent from playing altogether. However, stuff like decoy.
Yep. All that stuff can make you move.
Chrono can get you out of it, which I didn't really make any changes, but Oten might have been Oten can't be used at this deck. So
not in this deck.
No, or sidestep. Sorry, sidestep it is to be used so that if they do happen to Chrono out of it, you can just move over as well with them and keep your landslides effective, right?
So I'm running 7 landslides right now.
Yeah.
Because I have the 5 Purifying Waves. So between almost every hand, I either have both or one of.
Yeah.
In my opening hand every time.
And I think that's what I did with my landslide deck too. I think I did take out a little bit to compensate for the Purifying Wave.
Right.
Because of the amount of swarm decks that are out there. So, especially with Necrolich.
Bringing things back.
Or even, say, Angel decks, right? So it's...
Angel decks
are a huge threat as far as meta play, right?
Yeah, because the Angel deck is running the Angel, the Stone Protector, and a lot of the Angel decks run the River of Need. And
Yes.
this takes care of all of it.
Exactly. Right.
So that's
such an amazing card.
Yeah. So that's really, this is really sort of in the meta right now because of how many summon-based decks there are. Because you got Angels, you got the Blitz deck with Idris, you've got Long is coming up with like his healing his gorillas or Baruchs or whatever version. Yeah. You got Idris monsters coming down with Lightless.
Yeah, no, I know with the Meteorite, because the top tier doing 5 damage, sometimes it's just not enough. Now, I did remember building a Idris Meteorite deck yes. for the circuit that we played in, and it was just like I took second place with it. The only thing that beat me again was the Tsunami deck, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it was absolutely amazing at first, but.
And the reason for that is because Idris starts with 25 health.
Yes.
And if you look at your champions, there's more now, but before Raze came out, when you played that deck,
yeah,
majority of the champions played were less than 25 health.
Yep.
Most of them were 20. There's a lot of Nubia. There was a couple people who no one really played Raha. A lot of people played Rain.
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 Maliks, which was more of a challenge for that deck, but not really. But a lot of them played Nubia, and when you have 25 versus 20,
yeah,
and you can do 5 damage with 1 card 3 or 4 times, it's an automatic. It makes sense.
Yes, it does. I recall the very first match I played using it. They were playing Malik.
Yeah,
and it was a bit of a struggle, so I was a little worried at the beginning of the tournament.
Right.
However, I had this.
Yeah,
just a couple, just a splash of scorpions in there that were able to. Get up, do a couple of attacks at first, bring Malik down slightly, and then just plummet away with these.
And Malik too will also eventually will do damage to itself. Right?
Yes,
because of the nature of Malik or the cards that he plays. He will do some self damage, and then you can capitalize that on that.
Yeah, he uses a lot of stuff like
Demon's Rage, or Furies.
Cleave's another one. Fury does damage to him as well. Right. Plus his heavy attack that does do 2 damage to him whenever he uses it for 4.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was a really, it's an interesting deck. One of those kind of gotcha, right? Moments when you're like, here's 4 meteors.
Yeah, exactly, right? But yeah, no, I think outside of that deck, just Purifying Wave. However, the only restrictions on Purifying Wave being Bell and Thymos, so it's a tribal card, can only be used by specific champions, right?
So
I mean,
until Raze, the only 2 champions were Long and Fong, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, Fong just haven't,
and it wasn't used very much because they don't have a lot of aura, and this cost 20 aura to play, so it was very difficult for them to have a mass amount of these.
And Long wants to get summons on the board to cure them, so his aura is going towards summons. Fong could play some of these, but you couldn't really play a lot because you wanted to have the energy cards, which tend to be a little bit higher. So when Erica came onto the scene with her 150 aura, this card really begun to
see a lot more play, and it's a lot more recognized now because of her. Yeah, 100%. I see her as being a very anticipated meta champion, for sure, because of that. The only thing I find a little bit difficult with her is the health. So I know in my landslide deck I'm running Angel's Embrace.
Yep.
So Angel's Embrace gives you 4 health, right? So I mean, to go from 18 up to 22 in a split second with no response, it actually makes her a huge threat. So now she's more or less right behind the other champions as far as their health with just 1 simple card.
So if we were to dive into like what I would do with like a sideboard or our forethoughts, what we call in Genesis, that is something that I would be specifically targeting in my forethoughts. Is having some health, having side steps, ways to get out of damage, right? So that if because in most cases when I'm playing this deck, I am expecting to go second because I'm expecting people to know that I have landslide.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm anticipating this to be on this draw or on the second play, and I'm sort of waiting to see how the board develops, drop a big spell to clear the board, and then go and start basically restart the game from there.
Yeah.
If I sit down with an opponent and they're coming at me real fast, right? I'm almost that would be sort of I kind of don't have a lot of responses in my initial build, right?
No.
So going into my forethoughts, I would then adjust into being more evasive, being in a couple of health gain ways to counteract that aggression.
So with this though, how do you think it stands up against, say, a spellcaster deck? So they're coming at you 100% aggro, boom,
All
boom,
the
boom,
time,
boom.
right?
So this basically is not.
This is not really great.
It's not going to be effective at all against.
And especially if they're running no other summons, so landslide becomes a dead card.
Yeah.
If they're just by themselves and they're going first, like landslide, it's useless.
No, not really, because landslide exerts them.
But if they're going first and they don't have any other summons,
first, right,
then they're always going to be acting as their champion.
Yeah, and they're going to want to get up close too.
Right. The beauty of landslide is when the opponent is playing their champion and then they drop a summon, and then they move the summon before the champion.
Yeah.
Right. And then you try to capitalize on the landslide. Right. So you kind of wait for your opponent to make that
the
mistake,
decision.
That decision. I'm going to act as my summon. Champion's not exerted. Then you can capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But these cards against a straight spellcaster, they're not great. You'd have to lean more onto your summons, and that's and try to flood the board with your Baihus. Try to create space. Try to move around sort of left and right a little bit to create and drop summons in spots where like every time you move, you can drop a summon so that they're always they always have to kill something to get to you, and sort of using that board movement. Is how I would play against a straight spellcaster deck.
Yeah. So notice you got well, actually she's not chaos because I normally see you with the fire ghouls.
Yes.
But the fire cub. Reason that you chose that as your 3G?
So right now the reason for that is because I don't see any great Bellum 3Gs. There's not really a lot of great 3G and yellow cards.
Okay.
What
about Thymos?
Thymos, you could run the Babin Spider. You could run a couple mythical protections if you wanted to, but again, I'm leaning on
the two fire
damage,
attack, right?
The two fire attack. Yeah. The fact that this is 6, I'm fine if this dies, because for 6 aura, I'd rather you attack this than something else.
Exactly. Becomes a blocker more or less. So.
And plus, not for any other reason than flavor. You just, you gotta run the kitty combo.
The kitty combo, yeah.
Right.
The thing that not seeing though is Baruch, right?
Yes.
So
the Baruch. Yes, if I were to change this version, which I'm happy with this version.
Right.
The other version that would be up on the meta list on TTS is running Baruchs instead of the Yancha Tigers. It doesn't even do the giant scorpions, and it moves the giant scorpions up to bolt shots.
Yeah.
You run a few more 5Gs, and you have to bring in some 4Gs. So you usually tend to have a little more energy, and you have a lot more of these.
Yeah.
And what I don't like is when I open my opening hand and I see, 3 or 4 out of the 6 cards are 3G cards.
That's the issue I had on that first game. It was so horrible. I was sitting with a malicious, a decoy, I think it was, the Lulus. Yeah, no death companions.
Because there's no real Windslash. Windslash is a great low chi card, and there are some great low chi cards, but a low chi card is not going to win you the game.
No,
right?
Well, I mean,
some of them can.
It can,
right? There are situations where the right defense, the right malicious, or the right left hook, or the O10 will allow you to survive.
Yep.
But in these colors, yellow and red, I don't see any 3Gs that will help you to actually win the game.
No.
So what I did was I let go of the actual bolt shot, which is a very strong card. And if I were taking this into competition, I would probably have to put some in.
Yeah.
And I tried for the giant scorpion, which is more of a board control.
So crazy good. The giant scorpion. Now, do you have another one here? Oh.
Yep.
So your positioning, how you had this, was absolutely amazing.
And that's what I wanted.
Phenomenal. As soon as I saw that setup with these guys here, I'm like, this is done, because I can literally go nowhere on the board without these two.
Because of their rotation and because of their hit.
And right? I think I don't know. You had them out here at one point, but splitting them up like this, and you just cover so much area with them due to their awareness. and they can move, right? So yeah, moving him here, it's in
And
case I start retreating or
starting
whatever.
retreating, or if you play a decoy, I can respond to make sure you stay where I want you to stay.
Exactly right.
And so what I would call this is
Plus the crossover of the awarenesses.
I would call I consider this to be a board control deck, right? I control
it has
the
a
board,
lot of control,
and I control when you go, where you go.
Yeah.
Based upon all the awarenesses.
And these things are crazy good. We've been using these since alpha.
Yeah. They were uncommons in alpha.
They were uncommon in alpha, yeah, which was because we had so many of them. It's just like I do have I don't know if I built it around Erica or not, but it's based on just scorpions alone as the summons, right? Where you just flood the board and it's just like you have total control. They can't move anywhere. They can't go anywhere without getting dinged by one of these.
150 aura. I can play 10 of them.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's what makes her so good for Bell and Thymos. Just the amount of aura that she has. I'm finding that the champions with higher aura are dominating over top of the other ones that aren't. Energy reduction. I don't see it being too much. Like I know Fong has the 2 energy reduction. And I've been trying to make a full aggro deck based around her, just on the simple fact that she has a lot of cards free to her, like the Wind Slash, I think is 2, is it not?
Yeah.
Shoulder toss, shoulder throw, etc. Right? Just
that's a fun mechanic, right?
Shoulder
throw, rampage toss, back and forth.
Well, we were using that concept back in the beginning, using the use of quicksand. So throwing them onto the quicksand, now they can't move, they can't do anything, right? So now
quicksand's another card that I think
gets overlooked.
With the summons. Yeah. Like there's so many summon based decks that are out there on the meta. Like even some of them aren't like. Yes, the Angel deck is a combo based deck.
Yep.
And yes, the Blitz deck is a very fast aggro based deck. But there's a lot of summons based decks that are on
like this
the
one.
Meta list, right? Is this your
this is the
Necro Swarm?
The Necro Swarm, yeah.
So like this would have been an interesting matchup too, right? Because you would have had Stags, Necros, Cabusses.
It just keeps building and building over and over. It doesn't I mean, this deck here, I found people have used the Purifying Wave. So the combination is.
But using Purifying Wave against this just puts everything you want back in the
back right into the right? Exactly, especially with the Stag for sure. So the combination is you discard the Stag to your memories to bring in the Caboose, right? So now you got Caboose on the field, and then you summon Necro, and then he brings the Stag back in. So now basically I've got 3 summons on the board for the cost of 1.
Yep.
Right. So the resource is brought back into play on top of it. So it's crazy. It's crazy how good this combination goes and how fast it can go, right? So I mean, even if my opening hand, other things that I'm playing, so if I'm holding a couple of, say, even 2 more Cabusses, right? So I can technically discard another Caboose to get 4 summons on the board, right?
Yeah,
so all in one turn. And the only other thing that it really runs is the bull shots. The Aura Surge, because Necro is a little high on the Aura side, especially, for Nubia, because she's, 150 as well, right? It's crazy. The double draw gets you more. One thing I did recently change with this deck is the teleportation. So the movement I found was really restricted with this deck. Now you're going to be able to...
you build yourself in, right? So like you're building all these summons, they have to go in these areas. So you do sort of naturally end up like creating your own barrier. So the teleport.
So the teleport can more or less. So say you're here, right?
Yeah.
You went first, whatever, went there. I come in. I just drop this combination down, right? Which would be looking something like this, right? And then I can teleport, right? I just teleport myself and then do it again, right? Especially on round 2, where I have that extra draw. And I could potentially have that other combination. Yep. Now you're stuck, like you're literally stuck. And without a Purifying Wave to kill it all, and even if Purifying Wave does eliminate everything, Aura
the only
Surge
thing that really hurts is
the Necroliches, right? But I'm running. I think I reduced it down to 11 Necros to fit. The teleports in
because it's the same cheat, right?
But the other thing that you're probably going to be shocked that I took out of this original build is the Chronos. Now, I was only running 2 Chronos to begin with, and it was just a backup.
Yep.
But I also put Angel's Embrace in here. Not a whole heck of a lot of them because this deck is not meant to be up close to your opponent. So chances of them actually getting some damage on you, unless you're playing against Idris with a Fireball.
But if you're in the 5th, 6th round, and like I'm Idris and I have you down to like 4 health.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, these are definitely lifesavers.
And then my aura's getting down. I'm less than 20, and you drop one of these in that round.
Yeah.
I almost can't kill you at that point.
That's right.
Right? Especially if I'm not getting to you.
That's right.
Right? So like those, I mean, not everyone agrees with me, but I think this is one of the very, very, very underrated cards.
Yeah.
And I have always loved this card.
The fact that it's a 5 chi. Now, I mean, I stress about Breath of Jalar, right?
Yes.
So I mean, Breath would do this deck so much better, but it's very difficult for the build to get the 6 that extra chi in.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just focusing on myself getting the health back rather than my summons, because I know my summons are just going to rebuild on their own, right? So it's kind of pointless to. Oh, we got a message coming through here. Okay, not a problem.
Right.
And so yeah, basically that's how this one. The Aura Surge too gives me the 10 Aura back for 5 mil, right? Because this deck really doesn't have much for mil at all. So
Great, cool.
So anyway, so that's a bit of meta talk for you about our decks. Some deck
Gameplay.
ideas.
Deck ideas, yeah.
Deck ideas. As you've seen, Will definitely dominated over me against that rebuild deck. That was something I used to play a while back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a highly meta deck anymore, but it could still have some
There's still a
potential.
lot of fluctuations and stuff. So we do keep track of meta information, and Monday nights we try to do some either meta talks or meta gameplay if people are around.
That's mostly on the Discord, right?
Mostly on the Discord, yep.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we're still building. We're just starting as the game grows. We're starting to gather data and try to utilize this stuff.
Yeah. So you're
hopefully we have a championship. Or
championship this year. Yes,
hopefully.
exactly. So that's what we're hoping for and
Yeah.
we're aiming for. So yeah, he's Will is definitely a contender to take over my position this year. He's definitely aiming for it, but he's doing a really good job at his deck building. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to him on the Discord, for the meta lists, etc., and all sorts of different deck ideas. We play every Thursday night here at Heads or Tails Gaming, so definitely can come down and join us one night. We're also going to be extending our Genesis nights. We're running it on Saturdays, maybe even Sundays as well.
Sundays.
So
wow.
we're going to be doing some more demo nights as well. So if you want to learn, you come on out, get a free demo deck, learn how to play with us, and learn how to get into the competitive scene of Genesis. So that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we hope you enjoyed what we showed. So on behalf of Will, Mac Attack behind the laptop tonight answering any questions, and we're going to say farewell. Good night.
Good night.